Today I want to suggest something new. You know my beautiful instrument, which I have received for my birthday. Let me just check something here. Yeah. So this beautiful instrument is called a harmonium and it's from India. And I've just recently learned to play the instrument. But what I'd like to suggest, so you can, we'll do, instead of meditating, a way to also focus yourself. And you know, a voice has an energy, a voice has a vibration. We can be really touched if somebody sings really beautiful, but it's not only, oh, that is so beautiful, it's also expressing, and the muscles of your, you know, the muscles that produce sound, they get vibrating, and when you sing, there's also a relaxation in the face. So I'm not sure if you're alone in your space or if there's lots of people. If you feel uncomfortable making a sound yourself, you can also sing it in your head. You can sing it in your head or you can just listen. And today I'd just like to repeat a nice to start, rather than starting in a meditation. It's also kind of a meditation. We'll start with some chanting. I'll chant for you, or if you feel like, oh, nice, I haven't sang for a while and I feel like joining her, feel free. So you can just listen in, and we'll do it for a couple of minutes, and then either you close your eyes and you use it as background for your meditation, or if you feel like, oh, let me just try. The words, you don't have to say them perfectly. It's about vibration, it's about the intention behind it. And the words that we're going to sing is actually my very favorite mantra, Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. And the meaning in English is, may all beings everywhere be happy and free, and may my life in some way contribute to the happiness and freedom for all. So we are not currently feeling very free. So wishing that for yourself and the universe, I think, is a beautiful thing, happiness and freedom. So we'll start with 3 ohms. And then we'll just sing Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. We'll repeat, 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 and we'll close with 1 ohm as well. Otherwise, just sit, close your eyes, and enjoy. So take a deep breath in, and a sigh out. And then we chant Om 3 times. So take a deep breath in. still, close your eyes and notice the vibrations. If you've been chanting yourself, or maybe just the sound and what it does to you. Let's unite our energy by placing our palms together in front of the heart. A gesture of acknowledging each other even though we're physically not together. Uniting our hearts, our challenges, our joys, our emotions, thoughts, and acknowledging the fact that we are in this together and that we will get out of this together. If you have an intention or a dedication, bring that in mind now, and then bow your head towards your fingertips to seal that in. And then come and lie on your belly. So come and lie onto your belly. Legs extend behind you. And just do for around 30 seconds, some belly breathing. So you can create a little pillow with your hands. And then close your eyes and now consciously breathe into the belly. So when you chant, you're actually also breathing differently. But let's now bring some attention to the breath. And you can breathe in through the nose and maybe out of the mouth. Really let the belly button softly press into the mat, into the floor. And softly release. That space in the front line of the body, that space in your belly, also creates space in the back line, into the lower back. 2 more rounds of breath. And then come to a Sphinx pose. So bring your elbows underneath onto the floor. This is a lovely back bend. We do it most yoga poses just because it's so beneficial for your organs, for the kidney. So we'll stay here for 3 minutes. You can put your playlist on if you haven't done so yet. If you feel you want to go higher, you can put something under your elbows. You can use your beach towel. You can use your bolster. Pick a height. Remember, in Yin, there's kind of 3 principles. EFT, nice to remember. The E from edge. There is an edge, and that edge is not going to feel the same every day. And it's also different for different bodies. But you'll feel it. And the easiest way to notice whether you're at the edge is that you do feel something, but you can still breathe. So you do search for that edge, but it's not a forceful space. It is a space where you can freely breathe, where you can freely expand your breath, smile, and soften. So that was actually a little bit too high for me. I can notice that. We've got 2 more minutes. And then, the second point, the F, the non-fiddling. So what I just did was actually moving out of my edge, but I could have done that a little earlier. It became more like fiddling. I was just fiddling around, and I've lost some time now, which is not a problem. But as soon as you find your shape, just commit to stillness. So it's almost EST, the edge, stillness, but let's say non-fiddling, and then time. Give yourself time, but I'll be a timekeeper. So you can even just close your eyes, notice the sensations, and really pay attention to your breath. Try to deepen and lengthen the breath. Where do you feel this most? Do you feel it in the lower back? Do you feel it in the tummy? Where do you feel what? Shoulders away from the ears. You've got 1 minute. You can always consciously decide to come a little bit lower or go a little bit higher. Use your breath as a guide to know if you're in the right place. Soften the skin on your face. Breathe. It really helps me to count the length of my breath. So it's around 4 to 6 counts to breathe in, 4 to 6 counts to breathe out. In can be through the nose, and I like an exhale out of the mouth, but out of the nose is fine as well. Take 2 more rounds of breath there. Nice. Let go of your day. Let go of whatever is to come. Just be present with every breath. Slowly bring your elbows back down towards the floor and come back into your tummy. Just for 4 rounds of breath. And then really relax your lower back. Expand the full rib cage on every inhale and bring some softness with every exhale. And bring your hands next to your rib cage. Lift your tummy or even slide your knees a little closer in, and then press yourself to a child's pose but with tucked toes. So slightly different. Tuck your toes under. You might want to bring your knees a little bit wider. Now you're also stretching the soles of the feet. You can bring the elbows down. You can place something under your head or stretch the arms forward. Another 3 minutes here. Now if the tucking of the toes gets a little bit too much, don't worry. Just point the toes. Relax your hands, relax the armpits. And it's a weird thing to say, but when I'm there, I imagine I'm breathing into my armpits, as if there's little nostrils here in the armpits. And you really breathe into the armpits, an expansion of the collarbones, and then a softness. Notice the stretch in the back of the toes. A lot of receptors in your feet, in the balls of the toes, the back of the toes, also your hands. So just like softly pressing the fingertips into the floor also connects, sends little messages to your brain. Yin yoga stretches into the deep tissues because we take time in our stretches. We have 2 more minutes. It is also a beautiful meditative practice. Now with meditation, there's 2 ways of meditating. There's conditional meditation and unconditional meditation. Conditional meditation means that you bring your mind in a specific direction, for example, your breath. You commit to keeping your thoughts and your mind with your breath. And when you wander, it's okay, but then you just bring it back. Unconditional meditation is there's no condition. You just observe and notice. You're not really trying to change anything. You're just trying to observe and notice what you're feeling, what you're thinking. And they're both fine. So maybe pick one or try both. Half the class you can focus on the breath, and in half the class you can do just being and softening. 1 more minute. Maybe stretch the hands even a little bit more forward. Let the heels and let the hips be heavy on the heels. Make sure your nose is free so you can breathe. Maybe tuck your chin a little bit in. Soften the jaw. Totally soften the jaw. Let the bottom part of your jaw hang. 40 seconds in stillness. Deep breaths in and out. 2 more rounds of breath. Slowly lift your hips. Shift your weight towards your elbows. Bring your knees a little closer and start to tap your feet. So just slowly release the tension in the back of those feet. Lovely. Coming to a tabletop, and we'll do a couple of cat-cow stretches. So you look up, you breathe in. Feel free to close your eyes. You breathe out, chin to chest, round the spine. 4 more times with your own breath. You might be moving faster or slower than I am. Let your body move with the length and the pace of your breath. 1 more cow, 1 more cat. Coming to a neutral spine. Nice, so your hands are under your shoulders and your knees are under your hips. Now coming into this pose is quite important. Actually coming into any pose is the foundation of where you're going. So I just want to show you what sometimes happens. I'm not saying it's wrong, but it's not the most efficient. So we're going to thread the needle with our left hand. Now you see how nicely long there's space between the right hip, the right armpit. If I would thread my needle quite close to my legs, I round my spine and then I'm all curled up like a little ball. While we want to maintain length in the spine. So what I suggest is with your left hand, bring the thumb close to the wrist. That keeps space. Feel the space under your chest, under the belly. And then from there, you just bring the wrist close to wrist. Slide, 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 slide. Left palm is up. And then bring your left shoulder to the floor. You can have your left ear. I'm actually going to turn around so I can see you. And then you can bring your right hand, you got 3 options here. You can bring it over your head, you can bring it on your sacrum, or if you've got the space, your right fingers hook to the inside of the left thigh. Oh, there's Yuna. Yuna loves yin. Yuna is my cat. Alright, we'll stay here for 2 minutes. She'll be the famous yogi cat. 2 minutes here. Close your eyes and breathe. Now if you're hooking your fingers or even placing your hands on the sacrum, just notice if your hips haven't moved a lot to the right. If you feel like you're very skew, just pull your left hip a little bit to the left and try to have your lower body as square as if you were in a normal tabletop as possible. Close your eyes and breathe. Notice what you notice, either with your conditional meditation. Take your breath as a focus point. Keep your attention, your mind, your thoughts, counting the breath, or maybe just being in an unconditional space. A little bit trickier to breathe here. Open the right collarbone. Soften the skin on your face. Twists are very healthy for your spine, also stimulate your digestion and stimulate your solar plexus chakra, which is the I do. Either we do too much or we do too little. Is it balanced? That's what the solar plexus are all about. If you enjoy the chakra method system, we've got another 20 seconds to go. Feel free to close your eyes, stay with the breath. Alright, slowly bring that right hand in front of the nose. Move slowly and gently, press a little bit into that right hand. and come into puppy's pose. So you stretch your arms forward, hips stay above the knees. We'll use this as a counter pose or as a rebound pose. So just 5 breaths, 6 breaths or so. Notice the difference between the right and the left shoulder. Bring your hands back next to your face. If you have sensitive knees, you might want to fold your mat double or use your beach towel under your left knee. Where are my blocks? There they are. If you have blocks, or you can also use water bottles, bring them to the top and bring your right foot to the front of your mat. Lovely. So the hands are on the blocks so you can maintain a straight spine. If we would try to now put our fingers down, you start to round forward, which is not a bad thing, but let's just use, you know, it's almost like the more variation you bring, and we do tend to round a lot forward already on a day-to-day basis. So let's try to create that openness in the front of the body. All right, 2 minutes there. Feel free to close your eyes and really feel the length in the spine. And then it's not so much a drawing towards each other of your shoulder blades, because that would bring pressure into the back. It's outwards. I always think, just pretend you're a bodyguard and you're super wide in your chest. So it's more like like a gorilla, like I'm broad. And in that broad chest, you can breathe. Rather than, okay, I'm opening the collarbones, but I'm drawing more compression in between your shoulder blades. So it's all expanded, all broad and wide and spacious. Notice the sensations in the front of the left thigh, your hip flexor. Feel your breath. And remember, it's the EFT or EST, the edge, the stillness, the non-fiddling, and just allowing time to move into the deeper, into the fascia of your body. Around 4 more rounds of breath. And then slowly come out. Coming out of it is sometimes where you really feel like, woof, I was a little deeper than I normally am. You can keep your blocks or start bringing your fingertips to the floor. I would probably recommend to slide the foot a little in and a little out, and even turn the toes a little out to the corner of the mat, and then just, I call this stir in the pot. Stir in the pot. It's if there's like a big soup underneath on your mat. You're just creating a couple of circles here. Alright. Toe heel your right foot across your mat and then sit down so the right knee is in front. This is called deer pose. It is different from half pigeon. So what I like to do, I like alignment. A little bit of OCD going on there. So the short edge of your mat and the shin, that's your right shin, are parallel. There's a 90 degree in the right knee. That means your thigh is parallel to the long end of the mat. Now let's check out the back leg. That's also a 90 degree. So there's a 90 degree here and there's a 90 degree here. So that actually means short edge, shin, thigh, long edge, thigh, shin. Relax your toes, they can be slightly flexed. Now I know that you probably feel that you're falling to the right. Scooping. I hope you can see this. You're going to turn your thigh outwards. What is that? That's kind of anti-clockwise. So you press into the right hand, you take the left hand and you scoop. The closer to the sit bone, the easier. So you almost bring some meat underneath there. Yeah, the right knee might lift. If it's too strong on your back leg, your knee can come a little closer. Alright, maybe scoop one more time. 90-90. Stay upright. We will be here for 4 minutes, but we'll do 2 minutes in straight forward and then 2 minutes to the side. And we get a little bit of a side bend. So upright, you can come down, you can use your block, you can use your bolster under your head, your pillow, and just see where you can go. And off you go, close your eyes. Now while you lie there was a lovely thing I read this week about, and it explained for me so nicely what we're doing in yin as well with our tissues. You know when you have one of those old sponges, so it's not those yellow with the green at the top, but just those old sponges which become dry. They're bigger. They become dry and they've got those holes inside. So what we're actually doing with our tissue, you know when you have one of those sponges and then when you put them in the water, they like open up and they become rather than being all like stuck and old, they become new and fresh again. And then you can squeeze the sponge once you've put them in the water and all the dirt comes out. This is what we're doing with our tissue, if that makes sense. So by staying a little longer and stretching, you're almost like dipping them into that water so they can have space and breathe, and then all the toxins can be removed. But that space is needed, and that's where, you know, it's that tension that you feel. It's almost that old sponge that's like not letting go. All right, we're almost... Yuna, what are you doing here? How am I supposed to do yin if you're sitting, thinks there's a lack of attention here? Our animals are loving lockdown. Our animals are loving lockdown. All right, so if you're really happy, just stay exactly where you are. If you want a little bit of a side stretch, you can start, just stay low and start to move your upper body to your right. That was 2 minutes. So now in this variation we have another 2 minutes. You can also come all the way, you can also come all the way flat to the floor. Close your eyes and breathe. Relax your toes, notice the sensations in the body. Go as far to the right until you start to feel it on the left side of the body. Hello. You've got 1 more minute. Relax your face. Relax your toes. Quite strong. I feel quite strong sensations around that right hip. So that's quite normal, huh? Around 4 more rounds of breath here. slowly walk your hands back to the center of the mat. And you can just, I'm sorry to turn my back to you, but I'll turn around now. So you can just lift your knees. So you're basically sitting like this. And then windshield, you can lift your sit bone, windshield your legs from one to the next. Nice and slow. Soft little twist in the lower back. All right. Roll over your shins and then come into, we've done a little bit of a soft stretch of the feet. Toe seat is just so good for everything because you're stimulating all those endings, meridian points, the endings of the feet. So I like to manually stretch open the toes. If you have a belt, take your belt. Now instead of a belt, you can also use, you know, when you have a wardrobe, a bathrobe, or whatever the thing that's around it. I've used that. It's quite handy. It's soft. If you don't have one, you can pretend you're having one in the hands. This is a really nice one for the shoulders. So I'll time it now. Actually, let me put a timer on. Tuck, 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 tuck. You're already stretching those feet nicely. 1 minute. And you bring your hands, you might have to go really wide. And you keep your shoulders down. You breathe in, bring it overhead, and then behind you. Got the wall there, so I'm going to move a little bit. And then back up. But notice that you're not hanging in your lower back. So it's almost like you're tucking or you're bringing your navel into the spine. There's no movement in the lower back. All the movement comes from the shoulders. So nice and slow. Often in the morning when I do this, there's a lot of quick cracks happening. Keep your eyes on the horizon. If it's too much to sit on your heels like this, you can bring something between your heels and your bum. Oh, there was a little crack. And now if you close your eyes, you might notice there's a bit of a compensation. So can you move as symmetrically as possible? You might have to give yourself more space. Keep your elbows softly bent. Breathe in 2 more rounds. All right, fingertips to the floor. Wiggle your toes. And we'll do a minute with the toes pointed. So I personally like to remove some of the flesh and then really, there's like this connection. The heels and the sit bones are touching. And it's such a nice shape. Yep, there it is. And there we go. 1 minute, same thing. So maybe close your eyes, lift your chest, core is strong. Breathe in. And then bring the arms all the way behind you. This is like floss. You know how you flush your teeth? Or maybe you do. It's a new habit actually I've done daily now in lockdown. It's almost like I'm giving myself that time. It's part of my evening routine. But this is like flushing your shoulders. Really nurturing. Just give yourself space. If you feel that it's, well, if it's too easy, then give yourself a little less space. But if you feel that it's too restrictive, just keep breathing. Feel free to close your eyes. Nice and slow. For most, this is easier on the feet. For some, it is not. If you have tight front of the feet, so not the soles but the other side, then this can actually be quite challenging. All right, nice. Just bring the belt to the side. And come back onto hands and knees. Tabletop. I love how my shala is always nicely organized, and then halfway the class it's props everywhere. I know I'll need these after. You can just keep facing forward. All right, so we are going to do the same thing. So this time it is your right hand. Remember, a lot of space between the hand and the knee, because that's the same space between the armpit and the hip, which is the length of your spine. All right, thread the needle with the right hand. Let me put my timer on. Otherwise we'll be there forever. 3 minutes. Edit. So the time, I mean in yin yoga you can really stay. Remember the hand can come forward, sacrum or inside of leg, and then press the hips a little tiny bit to the right. So your back, so your tailbone is back in the center and your spine is long. So the timing, obviously we have an hour together. So we do things for around 2, 3, sometimes 4 minutes. But yoga, yeah, you can do yin yoga, you can stay up to 15 minutes in shapes. Some are more accessible for 15 minute kind of vibes. It's quite something to be in a specific shape that is challenging. It's mentally actually quite something, but it's also physically quite something to go so deep. So deep that it's almost like challenging to come out again because of the relaxation. Soften the skin on your face. Breathe nice and slow. Use the lungs to their full capacity. Really slow breaths in. There is no you're breathing too slow. You can breathe as slow as you want, and with those slow breaths, the mind also starts to slow down. Halfway, we'll stay still to the end. I'll try. I feel I've got so much to share. Two more rounds of breath there. Slowly bring that left hand in front of your face. And then just as if you are moving through honey, slowly come out. Nice. Weight on both hands. Remember, you can fold your mat double if you want some padding, or put something under that right knee. And then we step the left leg in front. Have your blocks close by. Off we go. Straight spine. Because one of the things that just happens when we get older as well is our muscles get shorter. We've got less space. So I think vitality has a lot to do with your mobility. Mobility, flexibility. So opening those collarbones, and everything is rounded forwards. Really, or everything might be a bit too much, but lots. Predominantly we do rounding forward. On our phones, on our computer, in our car, washing dishes, cooking, it's all rounded forward. And those back bends and a little bit of an opening of the collarbones, a lifting of the heart can be very healthy and beneficial. Let go, soften. You can even think of soft things. And just check in with your choice of meditative state or meditative method, whether you did the conditional or the unconditional way. Are you pressing equally into both hands? Soften the tongue in your mouth, soften the jaw, soften your cheeks. Take 4 more rounds of breath here. Nice. All right. Bring some pressure into those hands. Bring your hips a little backwards. You can stay on the blocks or move them to the side. Toe heel your left foot a little closer and out. Toes point to the side and then stir into the pot. Clockwise, anti-clockwise. You can drop that right hip a little bit. Just oiling. So there's flushing of the shoulders and there's oiling of our hip joints. Lovely. Alright, let's come into our deer pose, 90-90. So start to toe heel your left foot to the other side of the mat and come onto your left buttock. Check your 90-90 situation. So just use your eyes. We've got time here. So set yourself up. I'm going to move a little bit closer to the wall so you can continue to see me. Remember the scooping. So it's short edge of the mat, shin, right thigh, long edge of the mat, left thigh, right shin. And then the scooping. Like it's almost like you want to, it's an internal rotation of the hip, but you want to kind of, rather than falling to the side, sit more upright into that sit bone. Good. Stay upright, it's totally fine. You can even use blocks and then or come forward for 2 minutes and then we'll move to the side as well if you want to. Close your eyes. Excuse me. So another lovely, very beautiful conditional meditation, so bringing your mind in a specific direction, is gratitude, making a list of things that you're grateful for. It's a beautiful way to start your day. So you just simply sit still, and just for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just think of things that you're grateful for, and things might repeat itself or themselves, and that is fine. And then just really try to almost see the person or see the activity or see whatever you're grateful for. You see it, you can even hear it. Like if it's a person, can you hear their voice? Maybe you can smell them. So while you do that, if you have one specific person, one specific activity, or maybe many, go into all the senses. You know, maybe it's something you really enjoy eating or drinking, and you can even go into how does it taste, how does it smell, how does it make me feel? And that feeling comes through all the senses, through the ears, through the eyes, that just creates the energy around it. We've got around 4 more rounds of breath here. This is quite a deep, strong stretch. It is a very nice alternative for half pigeon also if you have knee issues. Quite safe for the knees here. Alright, let's move. So just walk onto those elbows to the sides. Take a moment, pause, feel if this is where you want to be, or if you want to move a little out or in, more to the right, more to the left, if you want to stay on your elbows, or maybe come down to the floor. Feel that length in the right side of the body. Soften the skin on your face. Breathe. Lovely. Deep breaths in, deep breaths out. So with your conditional meditation, breath is pretty nice. Gratitude can be nice. Loved ones, all the loved ones that are part of your life, whether they're physically with you, just animals, people that have passed, what they've meant to you, the jokes that they used to make, the way they make you feel. These are such lovely things. You can just create joy and you can create that link to them. It's all here in the mind. You can pretend they're with you in the same room. You can, if I close my eyes, I can pretend I'm in a studio where I love to practice. I can pretend I'm in Bali. I can pretend. So you can just bring those images, those memories, and those things that are in your mind, in your brain, in your memory, in your heart. You can bring them back up. They're there. Take 5 more rounds of breath here. Slow motion. Give your body time to reawaken. Crawl back to the center. And then just come back. Bring those feet hip width apart. And a couple of windshields again. Just from right to left. Nice and soft. Not too abrupt. Just really nice. Kindness, nurturing, resting, and recovering. Are you ready for a little bit of torture? Says the teacher with a smile on her face. I don't know a lot of people, and for the next pose, they go, yay, that's my favorite. It is quite strong. And most of the people prefer to fold the mat, but in the lengthwise direction. Let me take this out of the way. So you can go double or triple. I'll go triple. So with it less. This is called frog pose. If you know frog pose, you'll probably go, uh-oh. Yeah, it's that kind of pose. Uh-oh. So you are going to walk, your knees are there, you're going to walk them out to the side. Now please, before you go down, just check that your heels are behind your knees, so there's a 90-degree angle again almost, and your feet are also flexed. So it's like a nice setup there. And then you can, I'm actually going to show you it from the side, I don't really need this, it's easier to see. I'll just put my beach toe. Hopla. As wide as possible, 90 degrees in those knees. And now sometimes people start to hang in their lower backs when they do this. As you can see, it's for me, knee, hip are in one line. You might be still a little bit more forward, and that's okay. Otherwise, start to walk your hips backwards. And you'll feel that in the groin. I have, once in my life, a very pleasant moment in my life, stayed here for 17 minutes. You're lucky, we don't have that time. So let's do 3 minutes. I know this is quite something for most of us. If you don't feel it, maybe walk your elbows a little closer. You can also place a block or something under your head so your neck can relax. I already feel this massively into the groin. Let the knees melt into the mat. So you're not resisting, you're not pulling in really. That's a different technique. Ooh, la la la, I'm already there. That edge, that's the edge we're speaking about. But it's challenging, but it's in a way where I can still go, okay, I can control my breath. I can still have happy thoughts. I can still smile. So I'm still alive. I'm still okay, I'm still safe. If it gets too crazy, you know, there's no you have to, you should in yoga, and specifically not in yin yoga. So you can always come out. Let me see if I put a time on. That's a fiddle. Oh, I did. Oh, that's good. 2 more minutes. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Smile, smile, smile. I actually probably talk in order to not feel what's going on. It's almost like as long as I keep talking, I don't have to think about or I don't have to feel what I'm feeling in these groins. Mamma mia. So we all feel this, I assume. Please also always feel free to send me an email if something didn't feel right. I'm happy to send you a little separate video, or if you have a question. You know, because the classes are online, we can't really do questions and answers and lift your arm or lift your hand. I can't walk around. But please ask questions. If you're not sure, I would love to just show you a quick video or, you know, make you feel more confident. 1 more minute. Isn't that the best news? So you can come a little deeper by pressing the hips back. I'm definitely at my edge. Okay, I'll try to be still. I'll try. 2 more rounds of breath. Yes, yes, yes. Slowly come out. So how do you come out? How do I come out? I'm stuck. Yeah, I find it easier to just kind of army crawl, your elbows forward, and then just collapse onto the belly and go, oh, oh mamma mia. Shake the bum from right to left. Hectic, huh? So that was 3 minutes. Shall we do 17 next week? No, I'm not coming next week. Okay, but now I'm going to treat you. And see the time. Gee, time flies when we're having fun. Let's do leg of the wall. Leg of the wall, and you can stay in leg of the wall until the end of class, or you can come to Shavasana or a meditation. So leg of the wall. You can bring a block or a bolster or a pillow underneath your block. Obviously I've got the paintings here which I don't want to drop. So I'm a bit restricted with my leg of the wall. Normally I think I would be kind of there. Let me see, no, I'd rather not. So I'm just going to keep my legs here. My sit bones are against the floor. You can press into the feet, lift the hips, walk yourself a little closer to the wall, and then let the palms face up. And this is a lovely draining of the legs. And we'll stay here for 2 minutes. Also the palms facing up is a gesture of being open. Open in the heart meridian. Open towards the lungs. Open to receive. Open to give. Open to connect. Open to exchange. Some days we don't feel like being open, and you can put your palms down. It's almost like an intention setting or a conscious action of, no, I want to keep my energy to myself. I've been sharing in my feeling, I feel a bit unbalanced. I've been sharing too much outwards. I need to go inwards. Totally fine. You've got the rights. Have one more minute there, just let the legs drain, let them be soft. Now you have three options. Stay in leg of the wall as a Shavasana. Come down to our traditional shape where the legs are along the floor, the feet fall out and your palms are up. Make sure you're warm, make sure you're not distracted by anybody. Make it nice, it's almost like a little ritual, like, oh yay, Shavasana. Make it comfy. You can also, third option, come to a meditative seat. Either to meditate, so actually you've got four options, legs on the wall, Shavasana, meditative seat to sit and observe, or you can chant with me again. Our next chant, and this is the one, I'm just going to sing it until the end, so I'm greeting you now. Thank you very much for being here and for supporting me and for nurturing yourself through the practice of Yin. I'm going to share a little bit more vibrations. This is a mantra. It's quite easy. It's Ra, Ma, Da, Sa, Sa, Se, So, Hum. Ra represents the sun. Ma represents the moon. Da represents earth. Sa represents the impersonal infinity. Saya is the totality of infinity. So, the personal sense of merger and identity. And Hum, the infinite, vibrating and real. Now, a very short cut translation of Ramadasa is healing at a distance. So when you sing this, you sing. And I know Nadia is even in a medical staff. So when I sing this, I just hope to send healing to people that are sick. Not only people that are sick because of the virus, but also mentally struggling and anything that has to do with healing. We can send those vibrations into the world. So you can choose, there's a lower part and a higher part. You can lie, enjoy, you can try to sing with, and I'll just close the session. Stay in your Shavasana. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.